So everyone wants to know, how do you get smarter? Well, I'm going to share some tips with you about stuff you can do every single day that can actually help you get smarter and have more information in this brainy thing you got going on there. So when I think of, how I want to get smarter, I think of it as, how do I cram more knowledge inside this thing? So I did some very simple things which really helped me just retain more information and have more information locked up in my head. And for me, it's, been able to make me talk about a diverse range of topics from, pop culture, science, freaking politics, even though I hate politics, language, I'm able to use bigger words if I really want to. I'm able to, just study easier, and I'm able to, actually, it's kind of funny, on my last midterm, which I had, I'm in 4th year university, I didn't really have to study for it actually, because I already had so much background information on the topic, which was astronomy, that I didn't really have to study for it. It was really cool. So in terms of stuff you can do every day to help you get smarter, I will say that the very first thing that really helped me, which you can do, which might sound a little bit weird, is to listen to podcasts on your phone. So how does listening to a podcast make you smarter? Well, I'll explain why actually, and this has really helped me. So when you think about it, let's just say you listen to a comedy podcast on iTunes, which takes an hour. You can listen to it on your phone, which is what I do. And so let's just say it's a comedy podcast. So yeah, okay, you think, I'm not learning anything, but what you're actually doing is you're learning about how to talk to people. You're learning about how to make people laugh. You're learning about certain topics that are funny. You're learning about how to socially converse with people. And so you're subtly kind of learning these things without knowing it. And so if you were to go into another type of podcasting like science, for example, or education, so you can literally walk around all day. You can, when you have your headphones and going to class, instead of listening to music, you listen to these podcasts. And now what that does is it helps you learn. And so for me, I actually like to listen to a wide range of podcasts, from science to sports to news to business to careers to investing, real estate, a bunch of things, just so I can gain more information and I have more stuff to talk about and I, seem smart. So if I were to recommend some podcasts to listen to that could help, that you can just listen to on your way to work even, I'd recommend, science, I'd obviously go with Star Talk. If you want to just general knowledge about random things, Radiolab is a good one. In terms of comedy, I like the Joe Rogan podcast. I like Bill Burr. They're really funny people. In terms of, investing, Entrepreneur on Fire. in terms of business, Entrepreneur on Fire, passive income. Smart Passive Income is a good one. Bigger Pockets podcast for real estate. Bloomberg uploads a ton of business podcasts every day. And there's a bunch of other ones where you can just learn, you can learn a language if you want to. They're free. You pretty much have Rosetta Stone on podcasts on iTunes, which you can just download and listen to on the go. It's pretty cool. So that's the number one kind of everyday thing that you can do while not interfering with your everyday life. Listening to podcasts, obviously. So make sure you go do that. The next thing I can recommend, if you do have time, I understand that not everyone else has time to do this, but to read books. Actually, I really didn't like reading books, and I just started doing this again a few months ago, and it's really helped me in terms of growing business. So actually, if I can recommend some books, I'm actually getting through 2 of them at the same time right now. The Entrepreneur Solution by, I think it's Mel Abraham, and Jeff Walker's Launch, which is probably the best business book I've ever read. I'm about halfway through it, and it seems great. It's really helped me with developing. Sorry for the book splash there. Really helped me with developing products, even though I haven't launched mine yet. But these books can be about anything, anything subject that you want to be smarter in. So for example, politics, or there's math books out there, by the way, science, news books, biographies on comedians, how to get funnier, how to talk to people. There's a bunch of books. Just read a book. Like these books, for example, a lot of these business books, they're 150 pages. They're 150 pages, a lot of them. This one's, I think, the biggest one I've read, which is 200 pages. It's not like a Harry Potter book of 500 pages. They're like, I can get through those in about 2 days if I want to. So just make sure you read books, and it's really easy and simple way to get smarter. This one's kind of a weird one, which has actually a lot of scientific evidence behind it, which is try new things. And I don't mean, try new foods necessarily, or new video games or whatever. Although that actually helps. Some video games actually help with your creativity and your brain activity. I'm getting off track here. Anyways, one of the things that they actually found increases brain activity and actually decreases your chances of the onset of Alzheimer's actually is taking a different route to work once in a while, or a different route to the grocery store, or a different route to the gym. So for example, let's just say your drive to work is 25 minutes, right? And you just take the highway, you get off at the ramp, and then you take the street that leads directly there. You're there in 20 minutes, right? So, or 20, what did I say, 25 minutes? If you were to take a different route, which you've never tried before, even once every few days, once a week, once a month, it can actually prevent certain neurological diseases, and it can actually increase brain activity. So if you were to take a route that takes 27 minutes instead of 25, it can actually increase your brain function, because your brain goes, oh, this is new. This is really cool. You should take this route sometimes. This is cool. I like seeing those trees. I like seeing that school. So yeah, that's another cool thing you can do. Just try, if you're gonna go to the gym, take a different route there. If you're gonna cook food, try cooking it in a different way with different tools. Or what I've actually done, which is kind of cool too, which is kind of challenging, is when I'm prepping this like sauce that I make, I stir it in a bowl, right? And so what I've been doing recently is trying it with my left hand. I've been trying to stir it with my left hand and spread it with my left hand, and it's actually kind of challenging. It's kind of fun. You're like, oh, this is a little bit tough. Let's actually try and do this more, and it's fun. So just doing things like that, just trying different ways to do the same thing, it can actually make you smarter. Those are like 3 big ways which I would suggest, which you can do every day to help make yourself smarter. Listening to information sources like podcasts, reading books, and doing the same things in different ways. But there are some more challenging things you can do to help improve your intelligence, one of which is actually to surround yourself with smarter people, and actually to go out of your way to talk to smarter people. And the second thing that goes along with that is asking questions to anybody, and trying to listen to the things that they are smart about. No matter who it is, everyone's smart in some way, and if you are able to take the best sources of information from that person and remember them, you yourself are going to get smarter. So I actually kind of have a funny story about friends and surrounding yourself with smart people. So for me, the past 5 years, since I've started to improve how I learn and improve my intelligence, I've surrounded myself with very, very smart friends, especially on the internet. And so it's kind of funny, I'm so used to talking to those people on the internet. I'm talking about my friends Matt from the channel Conjecture, Dale from ThinkFact, Jabril from SAFD Science. They're all very, very smart people. And I'm talking about they're on the upper echelon of smart people. I'd consider myself, up there too, in some ways. But I talk to them all the time. And my friends at university too, they're all very smart. They're all, doctors pretty much. Always ask them questions. And I haven't really stepped outside that social bubble in a while, that social smart people bubble. And I recently did that with some old people I knew, and they didn't know basic concepts about science or certain words that I was saying, and it was really weird. I'd never talked to some, and they're kind of average intelligence, I would say. And I know some people that are not so smart as well, who I seem like I'm Einstein to. But yeah, I remember having a conversation with them about space, and they had no idea. They didn't know the planets. They didn't know the sun was a star. I was like, what? This is basic stuff. In my mind, I have all this information about quantum physics and theories of relativity and calculations doing with gravity and the speed of light and how to calculate the energy in in a molecule. And they didn't know that the sun was a star. And that was everyone that I hung out with there. So it was really weird stepping outside my social bubble. But saying that, my social bubble is one of the reasons why I'm smart right now. It is because I'm hanging out with friends. I get to ask them about stuff that they know a lot about, and I get to retain that knowledge. So again, surrounding yourself with smarter people is one of the best things that you can do to help improve your intelligence. So there's some other, kind of tough things which are, difficult to do. It'd be, eating right, just making sure that your brain has the proper food. Make sure you get your omega-3, 6, 9 fatty acids. Make sure you get enough sleep, which is tough for me sometimes, but if you get to 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, that's pretty good. Just make sure you're getting at least 6. If you're getting less than 5, then then you're actually an entrepreneur if you're getting less than 5 hours sleep, because that seems to be the case for me a lot. So another thing I kind of touched on before was actually video games. There are certain, especially as a kid, people think, or parents think that playing video games is actually it takes away from your child's knowledge and will make them, stupid. But actually what I've found from, just anecdotal experience, this is not scientifically proven, it's, I've found that people that play video games are a lot more creative, and I'll explain why. They're creative, not necessarily book smart, but they are creative and they're better at problem solving. So, for example, let's just say, Halo 3 when I was a kid was the biggest game. It was a shooting game about aliens and stuff, right? Aliens and these Spartan warriors. And parents are just like, this is so dumb. Like, it's just you're killing aliens. Like, what the hell? You can't be learning anything from this. Now, what they don't know is that you're playing online with different people in this shooting game. This game kind of consists of, you trying to kill other people and you trying to stay alive. And the game is pretty much a giant strategy game about what you can do to kill the other person. It involves reflexes and coordination, and, spotting people where, and eventually you play this game 100 times and you start to pick up patterns, and you start to realize oh, if that's there, maybe this guy will be over here. Let's go check. Oh, he's not there. He's probably over there now. And so it's kind of it's a way to problem solve in real time. I think that it actually improves brain function. But saying that, playing video games will not improve your intelligence as much as podcasting, reading books. It will help with problem solving, just from my experience, and with creativity. But if I were to as you get older, I would recommend, playing less video games, trying to maybe focus more on, business and reading books. But if you're playing video games, I'm not against it. I played video games for a very long time, which is probably why I'm biased in saying that it made people smarter. But I would say that yes, it is a way to, it helps your brain problem solve in some ways, from my experience. And I guess one kind of last thing that I can recommend is just to watch random, somewhat educational videos that you don't really know much about. So for example, if you don't know anything about science, go watch Vsauce on YouTube. He has some great science videos. They're very entertaining. So go watch those. Just watching videos about stuff that you have no idea about. So let's just say you're weak on politics. Go watch, don't watch, Fox or anything like that. Go watch Vice. Vice is pretty good on that stuff. If you don't know anything about, I don't know, sports, then go watch SportsCenter or something. Just try and learn something that you've never really experienced before. So just try and learn the rules of sports. Try and, see why Donald Trump is the leading candidate for US president right now. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment or question or whatever in the comment section below. If you have any questions for me, then that's where to put them. And make sure to subscribe to this channel. I make videos pretty much every day. Generation Jack. And yeah, you're all very beautiful people. And I will see you guys next time.